Welcome to yet another dimension. Who are you?
Oh, it's so funny because it's been so long since I've been here.
Yeah, it's Andrew. He's back.
I'm back.
He went to Alaska to
God,
wrestle some koala bears, and that's where they're from now. And yeah, didn't you take the trip? You took a trip somewhere, right?
I took a trip to Meyer.
Meyer, yeah,
to get groceries.
And he never came
last
back.
Week. Yeah.
You know, he's been too busy using his device. But he's back now.
Using my device, huh?
And what did we just watch?
We saw in theaters The Many Saints of Newark.
The prequel.
The prequel to the Sopranos TV show.
And what was your expectations coming into this? Because I love The Sopranos. I just watched it again this year. I love it.
I think Sopranos is a good show. I'd say it's a great show. I'd say it's probably overrated a little, but it is a great show. Look, it's one of the best. It set the tone, I guess, for every anti-hero TV show that came after, right? Like Breaking Bad, there would not be a Breaking Bad without Sopranos. Yeah, all of that. All of that was definitely set by like Tony Soprano. So it has a legacy, and not just like it's just in TV in general. TV shows in general, I'd say there's a legacy in place from what this show did. And it's good. It's a really good show. And when you were rewatching it, I was rewatching a lot of parts of it too. And I was like, man, this is a pretty good show. So going into this Many Saints of Newark, I was hoping that they would at the very least just make it kind of like El Camino with Breaking Bad. You know,
That's
like
what I was thinking about too.
Like an unnecessary but hopefully still satisfying entry in the series franchise.
When I was thinking about El Camino, I was like, oh, it ended so well, but I did want to see what happened to Jesse.
Yeah,
because he was like the only good person left in that show. That was like, you know, some loose ends that I wanted to see. But for this is a prequel. I'm not the biggest fan of prequels. I think it's just more cash grab than anything. They just run out of ideas.
Yeah.
And I wasn't looking for too much about this. I didn't watch any of the trailers. But I just watched The Sopranos. I had no idea this was even a thing until later on when I was watching it. And I was just hoping it was going to be good, decent. You see like some of the characters again. And it's written by David Chase, so I had some faith in.
Right, who was on the original creative team of The Sopranos.
Who was directed it? Do you remember?
I can't remember the guy's name. It was like Alan Jackson, and I know you're going to put the graphic up here.
Right there,
What it actually is, the name that I have right here displayed between our heads.
Right.
There, yeah. There.
Jeremy, right there, okay. Dang, he's so sexy. Anyways, he's a great editor, by the way. So,
my expectations?
Yeah, you should have any, really?
I was just kind of hoping, like I said, like it would be like El Camino, like an unnecessary but satisfying entry into the franchise. So I don't think this movie needed to get made. The Sopranos is a complete thing without it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, it is interesting to me to see like how did Tony become the way he was. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I guess if I had any expectation, that's what I wanted to see. What made Tony Soprano? Because Tony Soprano, he is like I said, the anti-hero. He's a guy. I mean, the show influenced everything, but it was his character, I think, that created the anti-heroes that came after.
Yeah, because I can't really think of anything in terms of TV shows.
Right.
A character that's similar to that is usually he's just a good guy, the hero.
Yeah.
Mostly, or just about the bad guy. But it was like gray area.
It was a gray area. Yeah, very much so.
For me, yeah, like I was saying, I didn't really have that much expectations, and I think they covered it pretty well in the show, how he became what he was, because they showed him younger.
They do, yeah.
They see the influence of the Mafia on him, like his dad mistreating his mom, cheating, killing. Like he once, like there was like a big scene where he chops off a guy's arm or finger, and it really had a big impact on him, like the sight of meat, the gabagool, as it were. So I think they did it pretty well. But this movie here, the Many Saints of New York. It's mainly about Dickie Moltisanti.
Dickie Moltisanti, who is Christopher Moltisanti's father, Chris from the TV show, who is Tony's nephew and kind of his like protege.
Yeah. And it's like in the show he doesn't really like him. Like he eventually gets like because he's a drug user. Like he's not focused, but he's doing it all for Dickie. It seems like because he has so much respect for him. Tony's doing it for Dickie.
Yeah.
His son, he's doing it. So it's supposed to show his influence, why he became what he is. So no spoilers. What you think of this movie?
No spoilers. It is a failure
in terms of the story.
Yeah, I think there was a lot that could have been talked about with Tony. I think the biggest problem is that Tony is a B plot in this movie.
Yeah,
Tony Soprano is a B plot in a Sopranos movie. And I get that it's supposed to be a prequel.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're going to have him in the movie, you cast James Gandolfini's son as Tony Soprano, a younger Tony Soprano. Mm-hmm. Why is he not the focus? He's in all the trailers, right? Because they're trying to advertise, and you didn't watch the trailers, but the trailers barely had the Dickie guy in it.
Really?
Yeah, it's super misleading.
Oh, because man. I would have hated it even more then.
Right, they knew that like people were going to try to go see this movie if they thought it was about Tony. And honestly, that's what I wanted. Because I wanted to know more about how he got to be the way he was. And okay, let's say you have Dickie be the focus. Fine. Why not make Dickie's influence on Tony be the focus of the movie? They don't. Overall, I say this movie... It's well directed, I suppose. You know, there was some cool shots.
Yeah.
Some cool things, like the very opening sequence, like
when you can see it.
Just, we saw it at Imagine Theater, and I guess...
I imagined it would be better, but the quality of the screen was terrible.
I don't think I've ever seen a worse looking movie in a movie theater. And you know what? We watched it at home on HBO Max just to see the comparison afterwards, and it was so much... Like, you could see everything. Like, something about the screen at Imagine, it was all, like, the contrast was really low, it was really dark. I couldn't see half the scenes in the movie.
I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, Imagine get your shit in gear, man. But, yeah, when we could see it, you know, I think it was well directed. The shots were kind of cool. I like the very beginning, there's a sequence where they go through a graveyard, and you hear the people who died as they go across gravestones narrating how they died. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, but... It starts off with Chris Moltisanti's dead ghost narrating about Tony. Yeah. Again, setting the thing that this is going to be about Tony, and it really isn't.
It's not.
So, I overall, I'd say this movie fails to meet the expectation I had, which was a fairly moderate expectation. I didn't expect it to be a fucking Oscar-winning movie.
No.
But I definitely don't think this is even like a solid movie after seeing it. And we'll get into why in the spoilers. But yeah, I'd say it's definitely a failure. What do you think?
I do as well. I didn't really like the characters. I'm a character guy. The characters, they had some of the older characters, like the, Paulie, Silvio, his mom. It just wasn't what the Soprano was. And the heart of Sopranos is Tony Soprano. That if he's not in the show, it's not what it is. Played by James Gandolfini, rest in peace. He was a great actor. He was
amazing.
Great. I'm like, wow. He's just the nuances in his character is great.
Yeah.
It's just missing in this movie because you have Dickie as the main character, but it should have been Tony, like you're saying.
Or it should have been Dickie's the main character and his interaction with Tony is the main plot.
Yeah, and it's not that. It's not. You have the plot with the Black Saints. It takes place in the 60s. I think there's like riots going on.
Yeah.
During that time.
Into spoilers now, but
well, I guess for me, I think it's a failure. I didn't really like it that much. I mean, it seemed like a Soprano episode. Yeah. But it didn't have the heart of it and it wasn't as focused.
No, it was not focused
at all. It's just all over the place. I didn't know who to root for, because I like to have like somebody that's like the central character of the plot, and I guess it was Dickie.
Yeah.
But I wanted Tony.
Yeah.
And they tried to see, and the main reason to watch this movie, I think, of coming in, is to see why he became Tony Soprano, and I didn't get that from the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the biggest problem with it's not even that, like, it's not just the expectation of, like, fans wanting to know about how Tony Soprano came to be. It's like the expectation that the movie itself sets at the very beginning, because the very first scene is like Christopher Moltisanti's ghost narrating that like Tony killed him. Spoiler for Sopranos if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, if you're watching this, you're gonna get spoiled.
Yeah, you're gonna get spoiled. But like, and then he's like, so this is the story of that guy, basically. But it's not his story. It's his father's story. It's Dickie Moltisanti's story, really. So, overall, a missed opportunity, right? Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. I would say if you have HBO Max, stream it, but you probably forget about it in the week.
Yeah.
Just watch The Sopranos.
Sopranos is much better.
Yeah. And it doesn't really give you that much answers of why he is. I think the show does it just fine.
Yeah. Show probably does it better.
I didn't really need it. Yeah. I didn't really need this movie, so you could watch it. Don't go out to go see it. I'll give it,
definitely not at Imagine.
No. don't see it there. I can't believe it. But yeah, I would say it's a weak movie.
It is a weak movie. Okay, spoilers.
Let's
get into why it was weak. So, I think first off, the biggest problem with this movie to me, I think a lot of it is really solid. I actually liked the acting. I thought Dickie's actor was good. Ray Liotta is always terrifying.
He's really good in these movies.
Yeah, he's great in this kind of thing. So
he wasn't like that back then. He wasn't terrifying, but now he's just scary looking. I don't know.
He is scary
in every
looking.
movie.
Yeah.
He just
he really is. And as soon as I see him, I'm like, ugh. I'm just like unsettled. But yeah, I think his character is also named Dick, like Hollywood Dick Moltisanti.
That's his dad.
Yeah, and then he goes on to play his identical brother.
I was so confused. So yeah,
Dickie's
he goes
uncle.
to prison to see his brother because he killed a maid guy, so he's there for life, right?
Yeah.
And he's very different from his brother. He's more calm, cool-headed.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And
he's trying to make up for what he did to his dad.
Yeah, which I think is part of the reason we were kind of confused at first when we saw him. Like, why does he look exactly like? It's jarring, right? Because he's Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta plays both Dick Moltisanti and his brother. I can't remember his name, but Dickie's uncle. And I think a big part of the reason they did that was because Dickie is really going to like atone. And in spoiler alert, he kills his father.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like I was kind of confused what was going on though, but that was his father and he killed him.
Yeah,
and it seemed like it was like building up for a very long time. Yeah. Like he wanted to do this for a very long time, but killing your father, I couldn't. Oh, of course I could imagine that. But like, some people have like terrible fathers, so I guess I can see that. And what I think, he killing his father, I guess they didn't show what else he did. He threw the girl down the steps. I forgot. You don't even know her name. Like,
it was like Giuseppe or some Giuseppe.
Giuseppe.
It was a very Italian name.
Yeah. So he threw her down the steps, but he was in love with her, right? It's like the love at first sight.
Dickie was head over heels in love with his father's like wife that he brought home from Italy.
And I think that's one of the weakest part of the movie. It was the love interest, the romance.
Well, it kind of drove the movie.
Yeah, and I hated it. I hate romance. It's not done well at all. And this is a movie. You don't have time for that plot and the plot with the Black Saints and Tony raising Tony coming of age.
Yeah.
So it's like all over the place.
There isn't a focus, and I think that was a big part of the problem is the focus is all on Dickie. He's the one common thread between everything, but none of the plots inform each other, and I think the biggest like missed opportunity is the plot with the Black Saints. Like, I thought they were gonna go in the way of, okay, Dickie kind of rises up and becomes like head of a family, and he goes against the Black Saints in a kind of rivalry. There's one shootout scene between them where it was probably the best scene in the movie.
It was really good. It was intense.
It was intense.
I like that. I like the violence was done really, like, it was hard hitting. The audio was just fine in that parts, but
yeah. But surprisingly, the Black Saints just kind of took a backseat as the movie went on.
They were just like a villain for them to face. But what were they fighting for, really?
I don't know. And I think a lot of it was mostly just to bring in like the black representation in this movie. And
I hope not. I really hope not.
I mean, I thought it was going to be more plot relevant. And I think it would have been fine if, like, the person who ultimately kills Dickie is, like, the Harold guy. that was like used to be his like I guess wingman, kind of, not wingman, what's the right word, but like footman, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He used to work for Dickie,
Like a henchman.
Yeah, like an enforcer, and he would force people to pay money for him. And then, you know, Harold then becomes his own. He starts to like get his own thing going.
Yeah, he tried to take over his own thing.
Yeah. And so like I thought really what it was gonna be was the conflict between Dickie and him. You know, and there
should have been that.
It should have been. And that took up a lot of the movie. But it's like, what is the point when at the end of the movie, it's not even Harold or Harold's crew that kills Dickie. It's Junior Soprano?
Yeah, then I'm pretty sure there's no mention in that. I might have missed that, and he kills him. Junior from The Sopranos kills Dickie. And
he orders the hit. He doesn't do it himself.
It's basically him, though.
But he orders a hit on Dickie. So let's break down what happened in this movie that led to Junior doing that. So it sounded like he kind of never really liked him, but it wasn't like
I didn't really feel that,
I'm gonna kill him kind of thing.
Yeah. He's just annoyed by him.
Yeah.
Like, he's annoyance.
Yeah,
you don't
and
just
then
kill somebody.
I guess the straw that breaks the camel's back, and it's kind of funny because he lands and falls on his back and gets like his back actually broken. Yeah. But Junior slips during a funeral. There's like a rainy day. He steps out of the church and slips on the concrete, and Dickie's laughing at him. And it looks like the movie is trying to tell us that's why he ordered the hit on Dickie, right?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that. I was thinking, like, why? I was trying to think back. Why did he kill him? It's that.
Yeah.
It's like, broke the camel's back.
That's insane.
That's so weak. That's contrived. I don't like it. Hopefully,
that's how our protagonist dies.
Did I miss something?
I know. No. That's I don't remember anything else that, like, I think maybe his wife, Junior's wife, was kind of had the hots for him.
What?
I think they might have implied
that. I guess he was just so jealous. But, like, Junior...
But they should have built up the Junior versus Dickie rivalry.
Yeah, he's not... Junior is so... He's such a small player in this movie. Yeah, he's not that big a deal. In The Sopranos, the first couple of seasons, he's a big player.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to fight with Tony for the head of the boss.
Yeah.
He's much better portrayed in that.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not a complete idiot.
Yeah.
He just seems like, I don't know, I guess he does play second fiddle to Johnny, Tony Soprano's dad.
Yeah.
I think I would want to see him more.
Yeah, he's barely in this movie, too. John Bernthal, too.
I guess he does go to prison, too.
Yeah, he goes to prison for like 5 years, but yeah, John Bernthal plays Tony's father. And he's barely in it.
And they talk about him way more than Dickie in the show.
Yeah.
So I think he had a huge influence on Tony, but you don't see that at all.
No.
And I think he was played well by him.
Yeah, and the limited scenes he was in.
Yeah.
Kind of an asshole guy, like. I think again, like, it all goes back to, like, why was the focus on Dickie instead of Tony? I don't know. Did they not believe in maybe Michael Gandolfini? Is that his name?
I think so.
James Gandolfini's.
That could be it.
I wonder if they just didn't believe in his acting ability. But, for a non-actor...
He did pretty well.
Yeah,
I don't... Yeah. But I don't think he can carry a whole entire movie by
Probably
himself.
not yet. No. Was he, like, 17 years old, dude?
Yeah.
Like, and this is, like, his first movie, so...
Maybe, you know what? Maybe they should have done it. Maybe they should have had somebody else play him, so they could have the movie focused on him.
Maybe.
Because what I remember from the movie, when they're showing Tony, like, coming of age, when you remember they're... stole the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, yeah. And they had Jackie, and then I think it was Artie.
I think,
yeah. I was like, oh, man. That's what they were doing back then. I always wanted to see, because they always talked about, like, how they made their name doing, like, hits and heist, like, make it, like, get a reputation.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's excited to see that. But then they switch the focus back to Dickie, and then Harold, and then the love romance, and then blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
Too many plots hanging, right?
Yeah.
So,
for a 2-hour movie.
So the big plot, I mean, the thing that kills Dickie, right? Who's like your main character is Junior, right? Who's, I'd say, probably like a D plot in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The C plot, I'd say, is Tony, which is ironic because this is a Sopranos movie, and then the B plot is his romance / relationship with Harold, who's the leader of the Black Gang.
Yeah.
And what is the point of having the Black Gang in there if they're not even the ones that kill him? There's
what
no
was the
more
purpose
relevance.
what
And
was the
there's
purpose?
like a mid-credit scene or something where they show Harold now as like in charge of an operation, basically. And it's a weird scene. I'm like, are they implying that he's looking over his back kind of like Tony was at the end of The Sopranos? Is that kind of what they're doing? Because he like sees this one guy kind of staring at him. And I was like, oh, is he thinking that that guy's going to kill him? I don't understand what the point of the scene was.
I was so confused. When the movie ended, I couldn't believe it. That was it. Like when he just got killed out of nowhere, Dickie, and then they had the funeral. They had like 6 funerals in the movie.
Yeah,
I mean that's Sopranos. I like that because that's the life. That's the life. It makes sense, and they just treat it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Then it kind of just ends after that. Tony and they play the music from the show.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, watch the Sopranos. Go, you're on HBO Max. Go straight to Sopranos. Stay on HBO Max.
But this is not. There is nothing.
It wasn't earned. At all.
Nothing's earned. No. This does not feel like this is setting up Tony's story at all.
No.
I don't feel that way at all. I feel like there's so much I still don't understand. And even like when they have scenes with just Tony or like Tony and his mom, it's still not earned. No. I still don't. I wish the focus was honestly on Tony. If they would have done that and made him the lead of this movie, it honestly would have been better.
So yeah, I'm thinking maybe they didn't have trust in him, like you were saying.
I wonder if that's the thing.
Because he's not. Is he an actor really?
I don't think he'd been in other stuff. I think this is like his first like role. You know.
I mean, it looks like him, but the looks is just a thing. You gotta be able to act. You gotta be that character. I think he did well though.
He did okay. Yeah, for like not really being an actor, he did well. But I think all the performances were fairly good, acting wise.
Oh yeah, it was.
It's just really just the story is what ruined this movie. Honestly,
if that came together, then it would have been a great movie. I think.
Yeah.
Because everything else is good. Like the look of it, the writing style is definitely The Sopranos.
Feels like Sopranos.
Yeah. The little like funny jokes they crack, it's hilarious sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's very sexual. It's violent. The gore in it.
The violence. There's parts I had to look away.
Oh my god! When they are using the tool in the guy's teeth, I'm like, just kill me, man.
Yeah.
Just kill me, man.
I don't know what they did exactly, but it's like some drill thing that they had in a car shop.
I think it's for like a tires.
Yeah, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? Rotate my tires?"
Yeah.
And they stick it in his mouth, and they were like grinding his teeth, and there's just blood and teeth pieces.
That was good.
It was nasty.
Yeah, and
very nasty.
And he's like walking down the street with a shotgun when they're just shoot out, and like he just shoots his fucking whole entire head.
Yeah, guy got his whole head blown off.
Yeah. It was intense. I like that. It's not all bad, but at the end of the day, the story is so unfocused. What's the point?
That's the biggest problem. Is like, why did I just watch this movie?
There's no point of this. You don't really learn anything. That important other than he killed Dickie, so it makes Junior even worse of a guy.
I suppose, and it's just like, but it doesn't even feel earned that he kills him. It's like, okay, he killed him, what, because he's just salty?
Yeah, it wasn't good enough reason to show me this.
You're going to make this whole movie, why don't you make the focus the feud between Dickie and Junior? Then it makes sense why he dies. It's predictable, but whatever, at least then I understand it.
It's okay. Look, it's okay to have like a terror, like, because in The Sopranos, I've noticed, the people that run the mafia in this, they're the most sensitive babies ever.
They are, yeah.
I love this is one of the like main plots. You remember one of the bosses? He had like a really overweight wife.
Yeah.
He loves her, but
Johnny Sack.
Yeah, Johnny Sack. I love how I just watched it and he still knows the name of the guy. I hate you.
I was watching it while you were watching.
I know, but
so I remember it.
I've watched this so many times.
I'm good at remembering names.
I'm terrible with it. Johnny Sack.
So
it was like a big thing. This is not like this is the A plot where he's trying to get people killed because somebody called his wife fat.
Right.
So it's something similar to that, but it was the main focus of that, and it was done really well. And this, it was like, oh yeah, that happened, and then we have this going on. It's just not focused at all.
Not at all.
And it, like I was saying, it's just a whole bunch of sensitive guys running the mafia. It's so funny.
It is funny.
It's like a gossip hour. Like it's like a high school. It was great. It's so funny seeing that. They have a big meeting, like guys in suits talking about like, so you called your wife fat, huh? Get over it. I was like, this is so insane.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted something like that.
Well, they could have, but again, it's just I think the lack of focus. That's what the biggest deterrent in this movie is that we don't know what it was supposed to be about. I don't know who was supposed to be, the main antagonist, or is it Dickie himself? And then even then, it's like everything feels so fucking disconnected. It's like he doesn't. I don't feel like the death is earned. I don't feel like his hit is earned at all.
No.
It just feels random, out of place. And I don't feel like the plot, like with the rival gang, is earned. It's like they watered so little every single plot, and none of them came to fruition. Especially, but I think the biggest betrayal is the fact that there's no mentorship with Tony.
Not at all,
and that's what I wanted in this movie.
He just saw him doing stuff.
That's what the movie makes it seem like it's even about at the very beginning.
That would've been great.
Again, if it was just like fan expectation, then I wouldn't even say anything. Whatever. Fans can be wrong. Subverting expectations, I don't think it's always like, you don't owe fans anything.
No, just do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Make your movie.
But if you're going to
art.
start the movie by saying, this is a story about Tony Soprano, I want to see a movie about Tony Soprano. And it wasn't.
See, this is why I don't watch trailers, man.
No, I'm saying this is the movie itself, not the trailer.
Oh, well, then
the beginning of the movie says that.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Christopher narrates that this is the guy who killed me. And it's literally, the rest of the movie's about Dickie.
I wish they would have just had the focus on either the Black Saints or Junior.
Yeah,
like for
one of the two.
The
Just
conflicts.
pick one. Yeah, pick one. I don't care that they have the Black Saints in there. I think that could have been cool if they were like the antagonists. If they're like Dickie's like foil. They're the thing that kills him. Fine. Then leave him in there. Again, there's just no focus. It's like you can't focus on the gang and Tony and Junior and then the thing with his girlfriend. It's all. And what happened with his wife? There's so much I just was so confused.
What is his wife?
About.
Where's his wife? What
but it's
happened?
like
he's getting her like.
I thought
places.
he already left his wife.
That's what I thought.
Because he brought the Gumar with their son to the dinner. I'm like, oh, I thought he already left his wife.
I mean, they do have time with their Gumars. I think maybe she knew about it, but they never showed that.
No,
they never, because it seems like he was with her most of the time. The Gumar.
Yeah, he's barely with his wife. So I'm like, and then
and so she's just okay with it.
I was so confused. I feel like that would have been just questions that are there that are not answered.
Yeah, it's more questions, like left on.
Yeah.
Left on, like you can't. They're not answered. They're not answered.
They're not answered.
Yeah, at all. So yeah, what's your rating for this?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I think last night I would have said a 7, and then now the more I think about it, probably more like a 6.5. I think it's still very much like I said. There's a lot of good elements to it. The violence is fucking cringy in a good way. It like actually makes you uncomfortable, which is what it should do.
Yeah.
The overall directing was good. I think there's some cool things. There were some cool shots. Like I liked actually when he drowned the girl and he's like getting up and there's like the sun. Like
yeah, it was beautiful.
It was a cool shot. It was kind of disturbing, but I liked it.
I hated him after that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, he just killed the girl for like jealousy reasons. It's not. He's not a moral character.
Even though he has a wife.
Yeah, you can't like. He's not a moral character at all.
Yeah.
And I think you're never supposed to really think that they're protagonists, and I think that's the point. They're a protagonist, but they're not a hero.
Yeah.
They never are. You're not supposed to identify with them as a hero. You're supposed to see them as human beings that are like anti-heroes. So I understood it. I knew he was gonna do that too, but I just thought it was a great shot. There's some good general direction. Like all the set pieces look really good. Like the production design is really good. I think the story killed this movie for me. The acting was good. I think, honestly, everything except the story was working. But the story just didn't have any focus. It's misleading. And not just in the marketing. I'm talking about in the movie itself. It's misleading away from its own plot. That's so stupid to me.
I don't get it.
You're like writing a movie.
Yeah.
Like you're the one. It's like it's different if like the marketing says something different. But you are in control of the movie here. You say this is about Tony. I want to see Tony more.
Who's gonna go see this movie? Sopranos fans. So why are you misleading us?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody's going to go see this really if you don't know The Sopranos.
Or if you like Mafia movies, you might go. I always thought Sopranos was kind of like almost a homage to like Scorsese, Goodfellas cut movies anyway.
It has that feel to it.
Yeah, definitely is.
It's about family.
Not like Fast and the Furious, right?
No.
Like family.
I've never heard that. What's that?
But yeah, it fails. It fails as a story. So 6.5 out of 10 for me. What would you give it?
I didn't. When I was done watching it, I'm like, I just had that. I literally had this face. I'm like, is that it? I didn't get the purpose of this. I mean, of course, like the acting is good. It was written well, but like I said, like the story is just all over the place. I lost focus in this movie because I didn't really care what was going on. Because so unfocused.
Yeah.
Why should I focus when you're not focused? So I don't know, man. I think this is an average movie at best, like a 5.
Man.
I gotta see this movie again because I'm disappointed because I love The Sopranos. And this has nothing on The Sopranos.
Oh,
and it's
no,
written
not
by
at all.
David Chase, so I'm disappointed by it.
Yeah, it's definitely just a unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it's not like
I'd rather have a really bad movie with like some really good stuff in it than like just an average clone of what is better.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's a
average.
good point. It's just yeah.
I'm really hard on this, so
Well, it's fair to be.
it's a good movie. It's a good movie if you rather watch. If you've never seen The Sopranos,
I still think actually, if you've never seen The Sopranos, it's like, what was this movie about? That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
might think there's some good elements to it, but it doesn't have a focus. Like every other like mobster movie has like a central theme, like the Departed. I go back to Scorsese movies because I think they try to like they definitely take influence from like Scorsese movies, right?
Yeah.
But it's not. There's no focus. Every other Scorsese movie had like a central character, and it was about like their downfall. Goodfellas, Raging Bull, whatever. It's always there's like a central character, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one, I guess it's Dickie, but there's so many plots going on that it's like
it shouldn't be like we shouldn't have to think about it. It's like
No.
oh, Goodfellas. Like you know who's the main
yeah,
character.
and you know what the arc is,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's very clear, and
Even though Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci is on the cover, it's about Henry.
yeah,
So there's no question of that. But I question this. I question why this was made. I
yeah,
have a lot of questions. No, really, and the answers I get is unearned, and I don't like it.
yeah,
It's no point. Just watch Sopranos.
yeah. So our final consensus is it's honestly
Just an average
probably
movie.
just an average movie, kind of a waste of time. There's not really been many good movies came out this year, has there?
No, not like groundbreaking or like oh my god, I gotta see that again.
Yeah,
The only thing I could think of is The Green Knight, because I like the
that was
visuals of it.
great. We should have reviewed that one, but
We
didn't.
should have.
That's a weird movie, but the visuals really good. But yeah, I was really hoping this would be like There's Many Saints in Newark. I was hoping it would be like one of the best movies of the year, and it's
Man, I don't know why. I just didn't think it was gonna do anything. I don't know. I thought it was just gonna be an okay movie. I don't know why.
well, it was.
I guess my expectations were met. We do have
Yeah.
to see. What is it? Dune.
Dune is the next movie.
We should watch that.
I want to watch
Let
the
me
original
review it.
first too.
Okay,
because
we'll
the
watch
original is like it's panned, like
Really?
it's supposed to be really bad. And I started watching it, and I don't think it's like that bad. It's like an '80s movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Dune, I think I want to do the 1984 one. I think it is, and then the new one which comes out soon. So
All right, let's do it.
Dune's the next HBO Max release.
Is it really HBO Max?
It's also HBO Max.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I swear I don't do this on purpose.
I mean, we can go to the movies, see it.
No, I'm good. I am scared to go to the movies now.
After yeah.
I'll watch it in the comfort
I'm never
of my
going to
own
imagine
home.
again, that's for sure.
So that was our review. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for joining me, stranger.
Oh, no problem.
And I'll see you in the next dimension. Peace.